Feeling depressed? Just play Souls games. Today, as my first video, I'm going to talk about every FromSoft game I played, in order. Note that this is my personal opinion, and my opinion doesn't affect the greatness of FromSoft games. Starting with Sekiro, it was a time where I was super obsessed with samurai and katanas, so I opened up Steam and searched for games that contained sword fights, just like Ghost of Tsushima. Back then, it wasn't released on PC yet. So I found this game called Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and I was super amazed with its gameplay, so I bought it. After the download is complete, I open the game, and since then, my life is not the same as before. So I make progress until I reach Jobo Oniwa. I die and quit the game by saying, why the hell is this game so hard? What is the point? After months, I saw edits of the game on Instagram, and that was when I learned about Souls games. So I hopped back on the game, and after a month, I finished it for the 7th time. In my opinion, the game is very good and challenging. The bosses are perfectly designed, but I wish it had more variety of weapons to use. Moving on to Elden Ring. My favorite game ever. First thing about Elden Ring that caught my attention was the world building and the eternal city. Just made me gaze upon its stars for minutes straight. The good point of this game is the open world, and you can go everywhere you think of. The bosses are amazing, the environment is amazing, the story is amazing, it's just pure perfection. I remember I played it 3 days in a row when I first got it and didn't answer my girlfriend, so she thought we were breaking up or something. Anyway, Elden Ring is the type of game that, no matter how much you play it, you always find something new, and that's incredible. Especially now, with the Shadow of the Erdtree released, there's tons of new stuff added to the game. Next up, we have Demon Souls. After finishing Elden Ring for many times, I decided to start playing the original Souls games, so I started with Demon Souls. Since I didn't have a PlayStation 3, I ran the game on an emulator on my PC. The game's atmosphere is pure perfection. I like it more than Dark Souls 1. Please don't kill me. The areas were simple to navigate. The only downside was the fact that the game has no bonfires in anywhere of the areas beside the boss rooms. I finished this game in less than a week, and I think I like it more than the remake. The quality and the atmosphere is just amazing, and the locations of the game are too unique, except the Tower of Latria prison that really made me search YouTube and find videos on how to get out of it. Moving on to Dark Souls 1, I wish they make more interconnected worlds in their new games. It was a fantastic experience coming back to Firelink Shrine from places you'd never expect. I agree with people saying the second part is rushed, but that doesn't mean it's bad in any way. The bosses of this game are too memorable. I played the game last year, but it already feels nostalgic for me. My favorite location was the Duke's Archives. The eerie soundtrack when you try to escape the prison gives me chills every time I hear it. Dark Souls 2. Straight to the point, when I reached Iron Keep, I quit the game because of how uncomfortable the gameplay feels. The world of Dark Souls 2 is really good. Don't get me wrong, but, I didn't feel any connection even after I played it for hours. I may go back to it in future to beat it, but I don't think if that happens anytime soon. In my opinion, Modula is the biggest W in the game because of the music and the scenery. Just standing there listening to the music made me think about all of the choices in my life for the second time. Now for the last game. Dark Souls 3. I fell in love with the game right when I reached the Boreal Valley and saw Anor Londo in distance. The game feels faster comparing to the other two, and it's much easier to level up and proceed into the game. The levels are straightforward and linear, and in my opinion, that's not bad actually. The bosses in this game are the best. The feeling where you know the story will finish by the end of this game makes you feel alone. After all, Souls games are our companion when we are depressed, sad, hopeless, happy. The Firelink Shrine soundtrack is just too good. FromSoft never fails with their soundtracks. It's really hard to choose a favorite among all of them. And as for the DLC, Ashes of Ariandel, the only highlight was Sister Friede and its 3-phase fight. It's the best boss in the game in my opinion. It was too fun for me to fight her. If the best thing in the entire world was a word, it would be the Ringed City. I was done with Souls games. Imagine bearing that much anger for 6 months straight playing Souls game. If you were waiting for Bloodborne, I'm sorry, you don't have PlayStation 4 or 5 to play it. And that was for my first video. Please, if you have any recommendations about the videos and animation, tell me in the comments.